Welcome to Constitution Podcast with Douglas V. Gibbs. I am Douglas V. Gibbs, politicalpistachio.com, douglasvgibbs.com, and tonight's Constitution class was canceled, so I've got time to do a video. And it was canceled because the owner of the location, it's a business, and we use the upstairs classroom, the owner of the business is nervous, not because he necessarily agrees with me when it comes to face mask and COVID-19, but because his employees are nervous about the fact that when we show up to our class, we're pretty nonchalant, no social distancing, and we're packed in there, and no masks, and he's afraid of, a lawsuit or something like that. And I got to thinking about it. Freedom of assembly being stopped by the government, but not really. There is a mandate that disallows all this stuff, but it's in California. But Gavin Newsom is an executive order. It doesn't hold the power of law, the force of law. And so technically, it's not a legal order. So technically, he hasn't... See, that's why they're doing it by executive order. Because they know that the legislature shall make no law restricting our rights. And so that's why they're not making laws. They're doing this through executive order. They're doing it through... mandates and things like that by the governors. But now, how do you enforce such a thing? You get the businesses to do it because they're worried about losing their license. They're worried about lawsuits because, the people are paranoid. In this case, the employees were a little bit on the paranoid side. And so when they saw that we had our Constitution class last week and we didn't have our masks on and all that other stuff, they had a talk with the owner, and the owner says, "Hey, Doug, I appreciate you. I agree with you politically, but I've got a business to worry about here." And so, without necessarily saying it, he said basically that I'm going to enforce this ridiculous stuff because of extortion. I'm worried about my business. So freedom of assembly is out the window, but government is claiming they're not really taking away your freedom of assembly because they're not enforcing it. They're extorting the businesses, so the businesses do. And I thought about this, and I've had arguments with people about face masks. I'm a firm believer that face masks are these facial coverings and all this sort of stuff. That's a sign of tyranny. I believe that it is slavery. I believe that it is a sign of oppression. While I understand people who wear their masks, hey, I get it. Better safe than sorry. And it's your decision to wear those masks. I get it. Personally, I disagree. I'm not telling you not to wear your mask. Wear your mask, if that's what you believe is the case. Personally, I believe it's oppression, and I believe it's not healthy. I believe that I want to get all the oxygen intake I can get, especially as I get older, and I don't want it inhibited by a mask. I've worn masks before. I wore it when I was in construction to keep dust out of my lungs and stuff like that. I get it. But, I personally, when you're sitting there breathing back in your own carbon dioxide and the toxins that you've exhaled, your body meant to get rid of, and now they're caught in your mask, you breathe them back in, and then you're so worried about the virus, so you wear your mask so that no one else can get the virus if you have it. Of course, if you spray an aerosol can through that mask, tell me what happens. Aerosol comes right through it because, and if you think the mask is going to guard you against the virus, same thing. I mean, it's like using a chain link fence to stop a mosquito. They're ineffective, and they're unhealthy. But hey, and the thing is, I've been in arguments with people over this stuff, and here's my problem. That doesn't matter. The statistics don't matter. Whether or not you think it's for the common good or not doesn't matter. What it comes down to is liberty. Remember the pro-abortion rant? My body, my choice? Well, what about my face mask? My body, my choice, right? No? Why not? See, we argue about statistics and the common good and what they think is better. Oh, it's only for your own good and good intentions and blah, 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 blah. And what we don't realize is that doesn't matter. I've been in an argument through email with someone over face masks. I'm throwing out my statistics, and she throws her statistics at me, and we argue back and forth over, which is more accurate, and don't matter. What matters is government authorized, and what does it do to my liberty? The Bill of Rights doesn't say freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom of assembly, and freedom to petition the government for redress of grievances unless there's a virus. Then everything goes out the window for a moment. But don't worry, it's only temporary. Really? It's all about liberty. In the end, it's like vaccine. They say, well, don't worry, Doug. We're going to get this with a vaccine eventually. They're going to come up with a vaccine, and then everybody get the vaccine, and then we'll be able to go back to normal because everybody's going to get that government-mandated vaccine. Well, I don't know if you're an anti-vaxxer or pro-vaccine or something in between. But I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm not going to tell you where I kind of stand on this because it doesn't matter. It comes down to liberty. If they're going to tell me they want to put inside my body something that I don't know what it is and what's in it, and I have to do it mandatorily, I don't care if it's for my own good. That's all about liberty. I should have the choice. I should have the choice to choose. Someone says, oh, but then you're going to get people sick. Well, if you took the vaccine and you believe in it, well, what are you worried about? Then the dummies who didn't take it will die, and what do you care? If the virus was a thing. Of course, I don't even think that's a thing. I mean, I believe that it exists, but you look at the numbers and the mortality rate and all that. I mean, if I'm gonna live my life afraid of a mild virus, or maybe even not so mild virus, if I'm gonna live my life afraid of that, then why am I even driving my car, or going out to public, or going to ball games? I am more likely to get hurt or killed doing those things than I am this damn virus. Pardon my language. It's not a thing, but some people believe it's a thing. So they're making a vaccine. And if those people believe it's a thing, and you want to take that, knock yourself out. But I should have the choice not to. It's all about liberty. It's not about and I was, last Sunday, Sheriff Richard Mack was doing a presentation, and I went to the presentation. I'm not going to go into details where it was or at or anything, but one of the quotes that he gave me was by this a judge named, and I can find it real quick. Here it is. Judge John Roll, R-O-L-L, by the way, which was killed when Giffords was shot there in Arizona. And he said something very interesting in Sheriff Mack's case against the United States over the Brady bill. This is back in the 90s. Now, based on what I just told you, listen to this quote. Statistical analysis does not equate to constitutionality. Statistical analysis does not equate to constitutionality. Doesn't matter if it's for the common good or if it's, statistics have shown it's better for you. Statistics have shown that if you wear a seatbelt, you're a better chance of living. Okay, fine. Then I might make that choice, but I should be given the choice. Government shouldn't be mandating it. Did I just say I'm against the government mandating seatbelts? Does that mean I wouldn't wear a seatbelt? No. I had a car accident back when I was 19. I nearly died. I think seatbelts do save lives. But statistical analysis does not equate constitutionality. In what universe do they have the authority to mandate that we put a belt across our front? Oh, but Doug, it's the right thing. It's good. I get that. But I'm not talking about statistical analysis. I'm not saying if it's better for you or not. That's none of their business. That's for me to decide. And if I don't like them, I should be able to not wear one. If I don't believe that the vaccine is going to help me, or I think it's full of a bunch of garbage I don't want them put in my arm, I should have the authority of a sovereign individual to say no. Because you don't have the authority to make it mandatory. If I want to criticize Black Lives Matter, I should have that opportunity too. It's a free country. It's all about liberty. It's not none of what's going on was about impeachment, virus, or racism. None of it. It's all about liberty. And liberty only survives if we're a moral and a religious people. If we are a virtuous people, only virtuous people are capable of freedom, said Benjamin Franklin. This Constitution was made for only a moral and religious people, said John Adams. Religion is the support of our system, said George Washington. Statists say they mean to govern well, but they mean to govern. They mean to be good masters, but they mean to be masters, said Daniel Webster. Beware of the tyranny of good intentions, because it's all about liberty. Beware of the tyranny of good intentions. It's all about liberty, and they are using good intentions with the recent events. I understand. Hey, we want to wear masks. Better safe than sorry. What about the woman that I heard about recently who was forced to be tested for COVID-19 at her nursing home? The county forced her into it, and she didn't have a choice to say no. It's all about liberty. Doesn't matter if it was for her own good. It's all about liberty. She should have had the opportunity, if she wanted to say no. Because if they're doing it for these smaller things now, what are they going to mandate later? What is going to become mandatory later? What are they going to extort to the businesses or the states to do to us and enforce later? At what point does the statement, it's all about liberty, become obsolete? Your statistical analysis does not equate to constitutionality. All right, this is an extension of Constitutional Radio. I'd love to hear you call in to my radio program on Saturdays between 1 and 3 on KMET 1490 AM. You can listen online on Saturdays between 1 and 3 at KMET1490am.com. That show is always needing funding, funding to help maintain what I'm doing. I'm having actually problems with my microphone of late, and so, always needing funding. So donate at douglasvgibbs.com or politicalpistachio.com. You want to watch my video collection? Links on politicalpistachio.com. Want to join my email list? politicalpistachio.com. Want to find out where I am speaking next? douglasvgibbs.com or politicalpistachio.com. Sometimes right now I'm not announcing them because, we're assembling against the law. It's all about liberty. See you next time. Thanks for watching.